Hey guys, this is Roman Kirgalario, and for today's video, is it really worth it to buy a condo in the Philippines? I want to talk about this because I just posted a video before this video, so if you haven't watched that video, I encourage you to watch it first or after this video. So the past video talks about our experience in buying a condo from beginning to turnover. And so if you haven't watched, please watch it because I got few people that contacted me regarding it who also bought a condo, and it was not actually a pleasant experience. So let's check it out. And before we start, just a disclaimer: I'm not a financial advisor. So if you have a legal question, please go to appropriate person. And this is for educational and entertainment purposes only. Thank you guys, and let's go start after this intro. All right, so let's start first with, I think, if you're thinking about buying condo, the first thing you want to analyze is your capability to pay the monthly payment. So with the condos in the Philippines, there's a lot of developers that are building condos nowadays, right? So, and their tactics are having you signed up for that condo and have you pay for the 20% down payment. And the good thing about it is you don't have to pay the whole amount upfront, and you don't have to mortgage the whole amount right away. So all you have to do is pretty much pay the 20% down payment installment. You don't have to pay the lump sum amount of 20% of whatever condo you're buying. For example, let's say the first thing you wanna analyze is how much could you afford to pay monthly, right? Some people could afford 5 million condo, let's say. So that would be so 20% of it is around 1 million, and with that, the monthly payment would probably around 20,000. And I'm telling you that because that's how much our condo was, and how much we were paying for with our down payment. So if it's lower, let's say just 1 million pesos condominium. So 20% of it is 200,000. So probably it's how much is it? Might be like 5,000 monthly to start. So it depending of what you can afford monthly for that down payment. Not bad, right? To pay that, but you have to understand that you're only paying the 20%, and that installment usually lasts about 4 years, 3 to 4 years, I think. Ours lasted 4 years. I think some lasted like for 3 years. I'm not exactly sure, but I know ours was 4 years. So you have to understand that 20% and 4 years monthly would be cheaper compared to you paying the whole thing monthly, right? Another thing you want to consider is your citizenship. Like me, I'm an American citizen. I'm a dual citizen actually. When I bought the condo, I was only U.S. citizen, and as a U.S. citizen, you can still buy a condo in the Philippines. That's no problem. But then I decided to get a dual citizenship just in case, for just in case I needed to be a Filipino citizen later on. But I think if you live in the U.S. or any part of the world, and you don't really plan on going to the Philippines like often, like let's say if you don't plan to go there at least once or twice a year, and you just plan to make it as investment, I don't know if that would be a good idea since you won't be there to monitor it. And if you decide to rent it out, you're not there to monitor it. I mean, but I guess for those people that let's say an OFW who is working abroad, and in the future will be going back home, going back to the Philippines, I think it's a good idea to invest in condo. because you will be there after a few years to monitor it and then take care of it. But before you make that decision, please stay in this video because there's more information that you need to know that might help you with your decision making. So after that, also if you are not in the Philippines and you're buying a condo and uh, you cannot go home to take care of the documents, you have to appoint an attorney in fact. You are going to need an SPA, so you have to appoint someone as attorney in fact. So usually to do that, you're gonna have to have the documents consularized at the Philippine consulate, let's say. But then I don't know if Philippine consulate still do that services. If not, there's an alternative, which is I also made a video about that, which is a apostille. You can look it up on my videos. It's titled apostille. You can just look it up. And I also mentioned about the apostille on my previous video, so if you want to watch that too. But apostille, I'm not gonna go too much about it, but it's an alternative for consularized documents, which public officer could sign your documents, and then the Secretary of State, whichever states you are located at in the U.S., validate the signature of the public officer that signed off your documents, and you just have to send it back to the Philippines for your attorney in fact. Okay, the next thing you have to realize that after paying the down payment of 20%, there's actually besides of the retention fee is the remaining balance, right? So on top of that, you actually have to pay a lump sum of amount. It's called closing costs. So we ended up paying 307,000 for just closing costs. So it was a surprise amount for us because we were not expecting it. But then, so if you haven't bought a condo yet, and if this is your first time, so you have to know that you're gonna be paying for that during your turnover process. And on top of that, I think it's best also if you have money to pay off the whole thing after 4 years, so that way you won't have much headache in related to financing the remaining balance. It's the 80% of the total amount of the condo, right, of the unit. So it's gonna be way higher payment after the turnover. So you have to expect that. I believe it's the best idea to save up while you pay the 20%. To save up to, so that way you can pay the retention amount after paying the 20%. During turnover, you can just pay off the remaining 80%. So that way you won't have to worry about dealing with the banks. But then if you don't have the money to pay in full, then you can also do financing. Usually whatever builder you have, they have their own affiliated banks to help you out, but they're kind of higher interest than other banks. And if you want to find your own bank, or let's say people refer you to different banks, it's a little lower interest rate. But then if you live in the US, the interest in the Philippines is way higher than the interest in the US. And for them to process your documents, you have to pay them bank fees. For us, we paid 91,000 for the bank fees, and it was also unexpected. But I guess when you're buying investment properties, this is the fees that you have to know. So in my opinion on this, I think it's best that you have to before you sign up on anything, you have to know, let's say the condo is 5 million, right? 5 million, and 20% is 1 million. 1 million. Okay, that 1 million you will pay in 4 years, 48 months. 48 months, and you only pay 20,000. 20,000 is doable, right? But you have to try to analyze if you can save up 4 million in the next 4 years. 4 million or $80,000. $80,000 if here in the US. so that way you can pay that off, that retention fee afterwards. I mean, I believe it's a better idea that you have save up, or at least you have to expect that you're gonna be having that retention amount. And if you cannot produce that amount, I think it's best to just downgrade the price if you really want to get a condo in the Philippines, or don't get a condo at all. There's a lot of developers right now, so if you can get a million pesos condo, so that way down payment is only what, 200,000. 20% is 200,000, and then the remaining 800,000 would be much doable than 4 million, right? So one of my friend told me that he got a condo, same price, and he ended up letting go of this condo. I know I already mentioned this story in my last video, but let me tell you again because there's another video to it, another information to it. So he ended up letting go that condo after paying 20%, after paying a million pesos, because of the headache that he was having with the banks. So it's the headache that you will get from the bank is not worth it. It's not worth it having headache dealing with them. So yeah, so he ended up losing that condo, or letting go that condo, and he was like, forget about what I paid, I don't want this headache anymore, forget it. And then another friend of mine also contacted me after watching the video. He said he had a condo about the same thing, and after paying the 20%, his agent told him to just let it go. If you cannot pay the full amount, you will just lose money from paying the interest. And I was like, wow, that's freaking crazy. Like an agent advising his client to just let it go because you're just wasting your money. You will be wasting your money paying the interest. Which for me, I was like, why would you advise your client like that? But thinking about it, the agent mentioned about the interest. And remember in my last video I mentioned that I had a high interest rate, and if I pay this amount, so in the next 3 years I'll be paying this amount, and I will end up paying 1.2 million, and 700 of it will just go to interest, and 500 will only be deducted on the actual loan. So I was like, it's freaking crazy. It could be true. So to make the story short, if you have an extra money to buy a condo in the Philippines, go for it. But if you don't, if you want to have it as investment, I wouldn't suggest it. If you just want to have a place, to say you have a condo in the Philippines, just buy the cheap one. I believe is better choice. Either cheap one, or just get a. If you want to be in the specific city, then go for it. Just buy a lower price condo, like a studio maybe. So that way, even though you have to pay for it at the end, or maybe at the end it would be more affordable for you. Like if we got a million pesos condo, like a studio unit, let's say 2 million even, it would be cheaper for us, and it would be better for us. Even if the interest is a little higher than over here, at least it was doable for us. Because right now we will be paying double of what we used to pay when we were just paying the down payment. But it does make sense, but still it's a lot of money that we're letting go, and that money we could just use over here. So if you have money to put down, or to even pay it off, go for it. But if not, you have to do your math accurately, if not accurately, as accurate as possible. If the numbers are getting too high, too crazy, don't even bother. Okay, I don't think it's worth it. Well, that's my take over here. And if you're still watching, thank you for watching. If you have questions regarding this investment or regarding this video, please let me know. Comment down below. And please don't forget to like and subscribe. It would help me to generate more viewers if you like this video. And once again, my name is Romnick Regalario. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next video.
You want the best of my heart, you just gotta see the good.